Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, thanks so much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. Today's video is going to be a run update on weeks 4 and 5 of my 10-week half marathon training program that I am doing. I will leave a link to weeks 1 through 3, the recap, in the description box, but this is going to be week 4 and week 5. I actually just finished week 5 today when I am filming this video, so everything is fresh in my head. I've jotted down some notes of things I want to share with you guys, and so I am just going to get right into it. So if you don't know the background and you've just stumbled across this video, go check out the other video because it will totally explain more to you. Okay, so just to get started, week 4 and week 5. Week 5 means that I am halfway through the 10-week training program that I gave myself using the Nike Run Club app. I am still liking it. However, in week 4, I did discover a few things that kind of made me about the app. So week 4, I ran 10.6 miles total that week. It was a lot of mileage. That was the longest run that I have gone on yet so far, which was a 6-mile run that week. So that week I ran almost 11 miles. One of the workouts that I did was on the treadmill because I have kids and I can't get outside all of the time. However, I did run the other 2 runs that week outside. The one that I did on the treadmill, I noticed some interesting stuff, and it was an interval workout. So basically I was running a certain distance on the treadmill, and then I was resting, and the app times the rest. But basically what I had to do was take it out of my running belt, and when I would finish my interval, once I saw the distance on the treadmill get to where I needed it to go, it was 0.75 of a mile, then I would have to take out my phone from my running belt, pause it, watch my time tick, and then push go again in order for it to be recorded on the app that I did that workout, which for me, I want those boxes checked off on my app, which I know is so weird, but I do. So I needed to keep taking my phone out of my running belt, and it was really irritating me. So what I did was I ended up holding it in my hand because I was running intervals, and so I ended up just holding my phone and running. But by holding my phone, I noticed that the speed that the treadmill had me going on those intervals, and I was going fast, the Nike app was recording it as 2 full minutes slower than what the treadmill says it was. So I do not know why that was happening. I did notice that it was more accurate when I held my phone like this versus in just like in the side position. If I had it up, it seemed like it calibrated better, but it was definitely off by like 2 minutes. And so now because of that, my pace averages I don't think have been accurate, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to be able to look back on it and like see how I had improved and stuff. But I know that it's not accurate now because the treadmill is like speed calibrated by pushing up the how fast you're going. That's actually how fast you're going. So I don't know why it was 2 minutes slower, but it was a bummer. So I wanted to let you guys know that if you're doing any interval training on the treadmill and you're using that app, it does not record it accurately, which stinks if you're trying to measure your progress. So that was one thing. And then also one thing to note, which is so weird, from doing that run where I held my phone in my hand and I ran intervals, from gripping my phone so I didn't drop it, my shoulder was so sore. And I have still been weightlifting, so I do not know why my shoulder was so sore, but I know it was from squeezing my phone and just being in a flex position while I was sprinting. And it really made my shoulder sore. So that was kind of a little weird too. I felt like I needed to do it in my left arm the next day to even it out. So yeah, that was my interval workout in week 4, and that was on the treadmill. My long run was 6 miles, like I said, and I did do that outside. It was hot here. It was up to about 85 the day that I ran outside, and 85 is too hot for me. That is a good temperature, like to just enjoy the outdoors. But when I am running, I much prefer 60 to 70 degrees. It was windy and it was 85. And so that run, that 6 mile run felt awful. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, like it felt horrible. Like I wanted to quit for sure. I didn't, I ran the whole time, but I was tired and I was like exhausted. So that was not a fun run at all. Thankfully, in week 5, they've given me off a week of a long run, and I'm super excited about that because I could use a break from the long runs. That run it about did me in. I was like exhausted after that. So yeah, so I did do my long run. My 6 miles, the first 3, I set my course to be running uphill, which I know makes it more difficult, but I wanted to do that. And so that running uphill, of course, plays a role in how fast I'm going, because, you know, running uphill, you can't run as fast as you can on a flat course. So altogether, with an average on the 6 mile run, I completed it in just under an hour. So I was a little bit below a 10-minute mile pace for the 6 miles, which I'll take, especially considering the first 3 are literally an elevation gain of about 400 feet. So it's like really steep where I was running. And I'm doing that because my race is a downhill race, and so I need to be able to adjust to incline and decline. Okay, so another thing that I just want to note really quick is that week 4 and week 5, with my training, I'm doing my running program 3 days a week, and then the other 3 days of the week, I give myself 1 rest day. The other 3 days of the week, I'm doing some type of weight training, but I'm just not going heavy and like trying to max it out as I was before. So I have noticed that I have been waking up really, really hungry, like so hungry. Like one morning I woke up because I was so hungry. My stomach was like, had a burning sensation in it, and I needed to eat fast. So I know I don't have a scale in my house, but I know that I am probably losing some weight, and that is fine with me. Because when running, 5 pounds makes a big difference in how you feel, and I am totally okay with leaning out a little bit and losing between 5 and 10 pounds training for this marathon. I actually have changed my eating back to a more modified like 21-day fix eating program, and I'm not focusing on counting my macros right now because I had a lot of strength gain and muscle building when I was counting macros, but I would be okay, and I know I would feel better running if I leaned out a little bit. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, I have been waking up hungry, and so I know that the change of training is like waking up my metabolism. So now going into week 5, I already said that I don't have a long run this week. So happy about that. I would have done it if it was on my plan because I like following a plan, but this week I am glad that I do not have a long run. So my first run this week was a benchmark run, which is where you do a warm up and then you run as hard and as fast as you can for 3 minutes. I had an improvement on my time, so that is super exciting. And then I did, my speed work this week was 5 1,000 meter sprints. And I did that with my husband, who is a former collegiate runner. So he is always really fun to run with because he's still faster than me and I train running way more than he does. And he still beats me, so whatever. But he's fun to run with. So I got to do that with him, which was fun. And I, for the first time, was able to maintain my per mileage pace for all 5 of those sprints. So that means I didn't start out sprinting super fast and then slow down in number 2 and number 3. I was able to maintain my speed the entire time, which is a really good sign, and I was really glad to see that. 1,000 meters is almost like 0.75 of a mile, so it's a longer sprint. And so yeah, those were kind of tough, but I did really well with that, and so I know my training is working. And then the run that I did today when I am filming this video was just a 3-mile recovery run, and boy was I glad to do that. I am pretty much sore from my ears down to my ankles, and so my body is tired, which is why I am glad that I do not have a long run to complete this week. And so my training for running is done this week, and I'm super happy about that. So I kind of covered all those questions that I said I was going to in all of my videos, how I'm feeling, any random stuff I want to add, I already touched on that. So yeah, that is the summary of week 4 and week 5 of my half marathon training. I am halfway done, and I just want to say thanks to anyone out there who is watching this and is interested in my running. It is going well, and I am excited to finish out the second half of this training and run the race. So I will see you guys in my next update. Thanks for watching. Bye.